All right, good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody is having a great morning. It's the New York session. I was under the weather, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. So I wanted to go ahead and do some content for the group, and I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you guys, and just kind of go through what I'm looking at right now, and then what I'm going to be looking at for next week. Also, to share the schedule with you guys, Sunday is going to be a Sunday evening is going to be a session during the Asian session and London session. And then Monday morning, we'll probably do something for New York, possibly. Trying to think what else. But for right now, we're going to have a class on Sunday, just kind of answer some questions, kind of go over what market structure is and then how to apply it. I have the YouTube chat feature pulled up as well. So if you have questions and you're watching, feel free to drop your questions there. But other than that, I will release the schedule as well in the group chat. I like to do Zoom calls with the group at least 2 to 3 times a week. For the most part, it has been a lot more calls during the Asian and Sydney session. I think I'm going to start doing London session as well, and sometimes New York. So Fridays are for New York session only because I don't work Fridays overnight. So Fridays will be for New York. Um, some Mondays we do it, some Mondays I don't, because I don't like to just trade Mondays unless I see an opportunity, then I'll take a trade. But other than that, I don't really trade Mondays. More than likely it's going to be a Tuesday and Wednesday for sure. But I'll do a video and let you guys know what the calendar is going to be looking like moving forward, and we'll kind of go from there. But let's get into it. Let's look at the market and see what we can find. I thought the video was going to start playing now, but I guess not. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. All right, so looking at GJ, the pound yen, what is GJ going to do? What is GJ going to do? I did catch some nice buys last week. Was able to catch some after it kind of stopped consolidating for a minute. Screen 2. And then caught some sales as well. But I'm going to share my screen really quick. Just waiting for it to pull up on my the screen to pull up on my pad on my tablet so I can see that it's sharing. And let me let everybody know that I'm live streaming on YouTube as well. And once I'm finished, I will drop the link, the YouTube link here in the chat and the Discord group. So that way you guys can review it for later and kind of just practice. So I'm not able to see my screen. Okay, there it is. Show meeting. I'm working on I'm gonna get me a new laptop soon. But I'm working off my tablet, so all right. So let's look at GJ and let's just kind of talk about how GJ has been moving. Let's talk about GJ and let's talk about how GJ has been moving. Oh, my computer wants to run slow. Let me do this. Let me switch from my laptop to my iPad. I think that's going to be better. Y'all give me like 2 minutes. Let me switch it to my iPad instead. Let me stop my share. Share screen, start broadcast. A little technical difficulties. Y'all bear with me. I don't know what's up with my Acer computer. Like, it never did this before. It's never done this before using Zoom. I think I'm gonna have to get me an HP. All right, let's see. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to close the room out on my laptop, but my iPad will still be here. Well, it looks like I'm gonna be using my phone and my iPad. So here we go. Phone and iPad. All right, so I got my phone, got my iPad going. Um, let's get into it. Share screen, start broadcast. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen now. And let's come over to my trade locker. Man, technology is not on my side today, y'all. There we go. See myself now. I'm sorry, give me a couple more minutes. I'm trying to get this All right. Stop sharing. And if my screen doesn't show on my tablet, I'm gonna lose my mind. Start broadcast. All right. It will not let me be great today, y'all. Okay. You guys should be able to see my screen on my phone, right? My beautiful wife. Hey, baby. All right, let's do this. So let's pull up here and let's do here. All right. So hopefully you guys can see the screen, which I believe you guys can because I'm showing my phone. I want to make sure you guys can see my face as well. All right, cool. So let's talk about GJ and what's been happening. So if I look over to the left, to me, this area right here that I have selected, and I'm gonna put an arrow here as well. I'm gonna put a down arrow. This was a previous lower high that ended up lower high, previous lower high. The market went down, and then it found support at the 187 level, and then shot up, went through that area of resistance as well as the small area of resistance as well too. So this was a nice bullish move to the upside. But once we kind of got to this level here, kind of where you guys see my entries at, as you can tell, it hit a supply zone or another resistance level, and then it dropped for some time. So like just look at it. It went from a bearish market, right? To a bullish market that was down here. That's down here. Back to bearish. Technically, this would be like consolidation as well, since it did retest a previous high. The market dropped, it pulled back, a new lower high. It dropped, new lower low, pulled back, lower high. So you can tell like this is now another bearish market here. So I'm only like just putting trend lines on there as well, just so you guys can kind of just follow along. But in between this area here and this area here, I probably wouldn't have taken anything because it's a lot of consolidation. Now, if I was just looking at, this zone here that's selected, and I'm gonna make it light blue, I would have been looking at that area for possible buys because this would be an area, this would be like a major area. Now, I am more of a technical trader than I am a fundamental trader. Okay. I'm more technical than fundamental. And also, but I know how to use like market sentiment, right? The feelings of others to kind of help with my trading. So I'll go check, investing.com just to see what everybody is saying about the pair that I trade. But I am 80% technical. So I'm only showing you guys technical analysis. I do recommend you guys learning fundamental analysis. That's something that I am going to do just to sharpen my trading. So when certain news events happens, I can take advantage of that. But like I was saying, this area here was a major level of support and resistance. So resistance turns support. Price kind of undershoots it a little bit. So this is where I would have been looking at All right. So as you guys can see, that area has played out, and then we finally broke out above this trend line and retested it. And then, as you can see, there was a small short buy opportunity before the market hit off of this level here and drop. So just looking at it, this is kind of like a range in market where if you mark off the highs and the lows, you can probably catch a couple of plays off of those areas. But as you can see, this is on the 4-hour chart. So if you got the patience, cool. If not, you better learn some. All right. So as you can see, the zones kind of played out pretty nice. This was not as clean as I would like GJ to be. So, moving forward, all I've been doing is just kind of marking off zones and waiting for price to hit those zones. So, like this zone that we're at right now, this green zone, I wanted to see if GJ was going to continue to buy up. As you guys can see, I did put like a little trend line right here, and let's make it blue. Put a little trend line right there. I wanted to see if we could get a break, see how it came once price did this move here, pull back, continue to push up, pull back. This is basically an equal high. So this will be my lower high area here. This area here was a previous support. Here's the candle that breaks, a full candle that breaks and closes below. It pulls back, retest, drops. It came all the way back and retested it again, and then retest one more time. And now you can see that GJ has dropped. So this was definitely a good little scalp for a buy. What I'm starting to see is like, I know that I like to swing trade, but I'm starting to see like GJ is giving me a lot of scalping opportunities, a lot of intraday opportunities. So I kind of just had to make a little bit of adjustments on my end as to what I'm going to be taking. Right? I like to swing, but if there's no swing opportunities, hey, take what's given. So let's come over here. So I wanted to share with you guys, and for those that want to know, like, well, Micah, how do you trade? Well, I really don't like using indicators. I like using market structure. So higher highs. I understand higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. What makes a bullish market? What makes a bearish market? So this is kind of what I use to kind of just help gauge my eyes. Now, it doesn't like highlight every single one, but this kind of gives me like a ballpark figure of where my structure areas are. So what I'll do is I'll put this up and I'll label it myself, but I'll pull it up on TradingView just to see like what TradingView says. So I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna use regular candles. All right. So like I said, over here where this green arrow, where this green trend line was, at the time, that was a bullish, this was a bullish market here. This was a bullish market, right? So this market from Monday or Tuesday to about So from Monday the 10th to Tuesday the 18th, I would have been looking for buys, which I was able to catch. I caught some buys up. And then once Tuesday happened, I should have been looking for sales because price failed to break and close above this previous high. So like once it, I remember this because this was kind of like news. Once it played off of this area here, I should have just stayed out the market because it's between these two little price point, these two price areas here. So if we would have did this, then yes, I would have definitely stayed bullish. I definitely would have continued to buy. But we didn't. We just respected where the circle is that high, right? That high. And what was the telltale signs? It would have been this. That was a tail sign, and that was a tail sign. So failure to break those highs, and then I saw it start to push down. Was able to catch that, and then once we kind of broke this low as well, once we kind of broke this low here, that kind of told me, yeah, we're no longer bullish, we're bearish. So trade what the market gives you, and then if you have a zone here, you can kind of see how price plays off of that zone as well too. So, you know, if the market tells me to sell, I look to take my sales. If it tells me to buy, I'll look to take buys. So that was a nice little play there. But this is definitely a market that will test you for sure. I am expecting this to continue down. We're just playing off of certain areas right now. I want to see it continue to break and close below. I want to see it break and close below this little area that it's at right now. So again, like that would have been a a double bottom, but I don't think the market is bullish for me to be buying right now. Like I said, I'm kind of just waiting for this to push further down, looking at the 4 hour and looking at Hakanashi candles. We do have bearish momentum, so I don't think that buy is going to hold. Going into next week, I do have my areas that I'm going to set alerts at. So like my first alert is going to be where this area here, that's going to be my first area for alerts. And then 191.038, 190.916 is going to be my second area for my alerts. So those will be the areas that I will be watching. Maybe we get some continuation for the sales, or maybe we can get like a reversal. So we'll see what happens. But for the most part, I think we are going to continue to sell on down, but we shall see. I'm trying to say, okay, so we got my alert number one here. All right, my second alert is going to be down here as well. And then my third alert is going to be down here as well. So I have my alert set ready for next week. I will post this YouTube link in the chat Like I said, this was a good week. Some lessons that I learned was, for me, I think I like having that my system to where, hey, if I'm looking for a buy or if I'm looking for a sell, how many pips do I want to go for? So like minimum 50 pips, max 100, but I will shoot for 25 pips if I'm going to scalp. I don't like to scalp, but if I see a move and it could be like a counter trend or it could be a trend trade, I just have to grade it and write it down. Like, okay, this was a counter trend trade. Let's take 25 pips out of the market from it. All right, well, this was a intraday play. Let's take 75 pips out of the market. So like just being detailed, just being detailed like that is going to kind of just help me moving forward. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I'm gonna put the schedule out for the group Saturday evening, Sunday morning. But we will be on Zoom and on YouTube Sunday evening Sunday afternoon from around 3 p.m. and then kind of going to go over some markups Sunday evening as well around 9:30 after I get little man to sleep. And then Monday morning, we'll do a session for New York. So that is today's class. I hope you guys were able to follow the chart. So again, if you see kind of like my notes here, beginning of the bullish move here after price kind of it from that lower high, price went down and found the support level, which was this box here. Kind of like a reverse inverted head and shoulders as well, if you know about that. But then it reversed to the upside. Price broke and closed above. Price broke and closed above that zone, and it retested a couple of times. And then once it bought up, I would have been looking for buys right above this previous high as well, too. So it caught it. So would I have hit my daily profit goal? If I'm looking for 75 pips, did I hit my goal? Yes. Like I said, I'll stay in a trade longer if I can see the move. And I'll take 260. I'll take 75. I'll take 50. But I just have to see it, right? I just have to see the move happen. That's the biggest thing. Can I see the move happen? All right. And then look, price came back and it retested this 191.273. So what I'm starting to do, like I said, is I grade my trade setups. If I'm looking for a scalp, it's going to be an A setup. I'm only scalping for 25 pips. If I'm looking for a intraday play, that is my B setup, right? 50 to 75. Or C, swing opportunity. Then, hey, I'll take that. And I'm only using 3 time frames, the hour, the 4 hour, and the daily. I have the weekly up there just to kind of see market direction, but I typically would stay with those 3 time frames at best. And again, I can see, trades where it's bullish. I can see where it's bearish. And I just make sure I'm sticking to my rules and being patient. That is the key, is to just be patient and wait for these trades to kind of just play itself out. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'm not going to be on here long. I got some stuff to do around the house. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will post the outcome of this trade as well in the chat. And we'll talk about it on Sunday as well. Again, for more information or to see the schedule, make sure you guys are in the WTL Telegram group. I will drop this video in the chat for you guys to look back over. And I will see you all Sunday evening. Peace out. Let me stop the stream.